Coming up tonight on the Kanary Blac Show, we have #1 Jayy in the building sitting here talking about his new album, High Class. We're going to play some games. We're going to get into all of that only on the Kanary Blac Show.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Kanary Blac Show. And today we got #1 Jayy in the building. What's up, #1?
What's up?
How you feeling today?
Nervous.
I mean, you were supposed to come on the show for a minute. I mean, every time she a busy girl, y'all. Every time I say, #1, you coming on the show? #1, you coming on the show? She be so busy, but I finally got her on the show. And it's at the perfect time. Your album, High Class, just dropped. Tell me about that. How you feeling? What's been going on?
In the making of High Class, keep in mind, I've been holding this for I'll say a year. High Class, it was really fun to make. The collaborations were phenomenal. I got mixed emotions. I'm happy, I'm scared, I'm ready for the future, where to bring me. I'm very, very proud of myself.
So, first of all, I listened to the album. I want to say it definitely was worth the wait. But making this album, coming off your first album, Secretive and stuff like that, do you feel like you had big shoes to fill? It's just kind of okay, because I know that you took a break from social media and things like that. So it's just okay, I've been gone this long time. I feel like I have to come back with something that's worthwhile. So did you kind of feel the pressure since you've been going? And also since you've been gone, there's been so many other girls that has dropped and that came about since you've been gone. So how did you feel before returning? Did you feel the pressure?
During my hiatus, keep in mind, I was still looking at everything and I seen the girls drop. I seen the girls saying they got stuff coming out. And during my hiatus, it wasn't really okay, I'm gonna just go ghost. During my hiatus, I was actually trying to make sure everything for the project was together before I pushed it out. Because I've been telling everybody, they've been pestering me about coming out with this project, but I didn't release it just because they did. That's not what I'm saying.
So let's go back to the beginning. So your name is #1 Jayy. How did you come up with your name? And also tell us about your origins, where you grew up, because a lot of people may see us on Instagram and things like that, but we actually have lives outside of this stuff. So, tell me a little bit about #1.
Okay, so the name #1 Jayy actually came from a childhood thing. So I have a cousin, her name is Jayla, and we both get called Jay, only because of the first 3 letters of our name. But I was born first, just so y'all know. So it was this one day I was at my aunt's house and we were all playing around and stuff like that. And keep in mind, she had a 2-story house. So we're upstairs playing and we hear Jay. And I'm like, which one of us is she calling, me or you? So we both go downstairs because we don't know which one she calling. So she was like, you wanna know what? Just to make it easier, you're Jayy #1 and you're Jayy #2. And we all know, for the girls that have been with me for a long time, my name before #1 Jayy was Jay Anthony. And I was around 2018, 2019, but I had to switch it up only because Jay and Anthony's my middle name. And Jay is my nickname, but I still spelled it with 2 Y's. So I was like, I need to reinvent myself, because that's when I really started getting into rapping. Because everybody knows I used to be a singer. Really am, still got the vocals, y'all know that. So yeah, that's where the name came about. And there has been a lot of controversy with the name, people judging me about the name, oh, you're not #1, and people taking it, using it for their names and all of that. I'm not shitting nobody when I say that, but it's other people that took #1 from me. So yeah, and then also in 2019, you know how you got your username and you got the caption name?
Yeah.
My caption name was always Numba and then the #1 and then Jay. And I was like, you wanna know what? I'm gonna just change my name to that, but I'm gonna change the #1 into O and E. Let me do my big one. I mean,
and it's so unique, and I feel like it fits you, because a lot of people have rap names and it don't really fit them. But like you were saying, with your name and stuff like that, even after all of the backlash, did you ever reconsider your name? You ever thought about should I change it to something else? Should I go back to Jay Anthony? Have you ever thought about changing?
I always was thinking that, only because so many people were using it, and even when I typed in my name before I started getting hits and all of that, it was number one this, number one that. And I'm like, do I need to change my name? Because I feel like I need to. And then people like, oh, you got some competition because what's the name is calling herself number one and all of that. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And another thing too, me and Barbie already had a conversation. Barbie, she's number one dog. I can see where that's coming from. She's not number one. She's just saying that she's the number one dog because that's boy Barbie. I get it. But other people stealing my what you call it, my trademark and all of that, it was getting sickness. So I was like, maybe I should change my name.
Yeah, and I understand that. So let's talk a little bit about your platform and stuff like that. So if you guys don't know, number one right now is sitting at 14.5K followers on Instagram. You know, she has different outlets like, you know, TikTok and things like that. So when you was building your platform, with all the followers that was coming at first, were you just kind of like, whoa, or anything like that? Or are you still humble about it, you know?
I'm still humble about it because I'm only getting bigger. And the keys to success is to always remain humble. I've never been to boast and brag, but me, I do like competition. That's the only thing. I'm a very competitive person, but I always try to stay humble because I don't want other people thinking, oh, he think he better than everybody else in the industry. No, I'm not. We all have a spot in the A-list spot section. Like we're all gonna get there. But yeah, I feel like I just always gotta remain humble.
So even with like all the followers and stuff like that, I remember I was having a conversation with Logical Zay, and right now it's just like you and him just like y'all steady climbing. So I was talking to him and I was like, even with all of the followers, do you feel like all of those people support you? And he says sometimes he gets a bit frustrated because it's just like all these people follow me, but are they following me for the right reasons? Like they follow me for my body and stuff. And I may post a certain type of content, it may get like thousands of likes, but then I post something about my music and it's not the same. Have you ever faced that coming from your audience that you reach?
Yes, I most definitely feel that way because everybody knows before I came into the music industry and basically introduced my talent, my second talent to everybody else. Because keep in mind, I used to be a dub smash dancer. I used to be on Musically. I used to be on all of that. But once I came out with the music stuff, it's like, oh, we're not here for it. But I can say now that it's a different outcome only because I only have more people that mess with my music coming in and more people that were here for the dub smash dances and everything going out. So it's like new support, like new supporters every time. So I mean, it is what it is, honestly, because I know deeper into my career, I'm gonna have people that are not gonna like what I do. So no matter what, I just gotta keep going. So
So let's get into back into high class a little bit. So I'm looking at the track list, and you know, you have BTS with Da Vinci, Fresh with Colors, Tongue Tied with Jay Bully, and things like that. So when it comes to people that you work with, like, what are the things that you look for? And do you actually know that the song is going to be a hit before you put it out with these people? Like, have you ever had a time where it's just like, okay, I'm going to collab with you because I know it's going to do numbers? Or it's like everything really authentic? Because a lot of times people do songs just because they know commercially it will do good. But like, as far as chemistry wise, it really doesn't do that good. So when it comes to people that you're working with, what are some of the things that you look for?
So when I work with people, the main thing that I really look for is quality. If you don't have good quality music, then I'm not going to be working with you. If I don't see that you have at least some type of buzz, like some type of work ethic, some type of catalog, I'm not going to work with you. So, and I'm at the point in my career where I might just start charging for features because there is a lot of people that are willing to work with me, but I don't want to work with them only because of how I see them and how their, catalog is. And also what I look for is, do you take music seriously? Like, are you focused enough on it? Like, because if you're not focused on your music and you're just doing it just to do it, then why do you want me to collab with you? Why do you want me to put you on a project? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So let's get into a little bit of something I always wanted to ask you. So where did Miss Classy originate from? Like that whole alter ego, because every day I say I call you Miss Classy. So where did Miss Classy come from?
So basically, I was going to name myself Mrs. Proper because when I was younger, like I'll say like around 10 years old, 11 years old, I will always get, oh, you sound so proper. Because, a lot of African Americans unfortunately can't, be educated, articulately educated, all of that stuff. So Mrs. Classy originated from, you already know, I got a song with Juju and then Clock Classy was made 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. After that, people just been like saying, oh, you're so classy and you sound classy and the way you present yourself is just classy. So I was like, you know what? Let me do something with this. So I was like, all right, Mrs. Classy.
Exactly, but don't let number one fool y'all, because number one know how to read y'all. Let me sit here and tell y'all, girl. Me and number one be on the phone for hours, girl. But even what you was here saying, like when people calling you Miss Classy, like the way you act and stuff like that. When it comes to like your sound, because no shade, I feel like you're one of the artists that I feel like your talking voice is literally your rapping voice. Like it's literally the same thing, and it ended up working for you. But have you ever felt like, maybe I need to switch it up, or maybe I need to do a different voice or something like that? Because a lot of people sometimes complain about people sticking to what works for them and always wanting them to do this. But it's just like, if I'm being successful off of this, why do I need to? You know what I'm saying here saying? I could see if I was flopping or something like that, but clearly you're not. So have you ever felt like you needed to switch it up a little bit?
It's funny that you asked that because just the other day, I was listening to a lot of like hard rappers, like Lil Durk and all of them people. And keep in mind, I live in an area where a lot of Black people listen to hood music. So I was like, you know what? Do I need to change my sound? Do I need to change the way I rap just so other people can listen to me? But then I started thinking more about it and I was like, I know a lot of people that listen to me just to listen to me. And if I need to switch it up, I can, only because I got the versatility to do it. But I personally don't feel like I need to change myself, only because what I'm doing now stands out from a lot of other people. Because keep in mind, this person may be doing this, that person may be doing the same thing. Me, I'm in my own lane. I want to sound like number one. I want to be like number one, be like nobody else. So I try to keep that in mind for like the future, like future references.
Right. So I'm glad that you said it. So we definitely see the number one now, the glammed up number one, this, that, and the third. But behind the scenes, what are some things that you like to do that people may be shocked, that Miss Classy may be diving into? Like, what are some things you might be like, oh, bitch, you do that? Like, what are some things that you do off the cameras?
So when I go out with my friends, I love to act out. Like that's the thing about me. I act out. If I'm in public, act out. In the store, act out. But it's not by myself. I gotta be with like my people that I know.
Mm-hmm.
So people look at me and it's like, you look like you don't, twerk a little something, act out because I never seen you do it. No, I do it. You just haven't seen it around me.
Right. That's T. So moving
Exactly.
on from that, let's start about when you was coming in the industry. So a lot of times, people come to the industry, if somebody else may have brought them in, you may have had that one group that you came in with. Who are some of the pivotal people that that you came in with, y'all was doing it together, or whatever the case may be, or did you come in by yourself?
So I'm not gonna completely say I came by myself, because if it wasn't for a couple of people, I wouldn't know all those other people. So I'll say Ali. Ali is the main person that I came in here with. Me and him hit it off back in 2020. So I'll say I knew Ali for a good 3 years. Star and Mari, I came in with him. Colors, I came in with him. It was just a lot of it was like a little tiny group. And Mari, half of the times he wouldn't be there. So it was me, Colors, and Ali. And we used to call ourselves the Big Three. Or not the Big Three, we used to call ourselves Holy Trinity. No, we did call ourselves the Big Three. And we had to change it to Holy Trinity only because there was another group calling itself the Big Three. And there was like a brawl, and we'll get deeper into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think this is the time to get deeper into it, is what you're saying. Okay, period. So when that happened, who was calling themselves the Big Three?
So I think one of them was Draco. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody watching? Um, Draco, DJ, and Majay. They were the big three, I believe.
Do you feel like they were truly the big three over y'all?
I mean, they're extremely talented. They are extremely talented. And me coming into the industry, I wasn't really looking for anybody to beef with, but the people that I was around brought me into that setting because they were arguing with them. And it's like, you know what? I'm like the monkey in the middle, but unfortunately I got dragged into it. So
Mm-hmm. And you know, I can completely relate to that. Even when I was coming in, you know, it was kind of like you going with the blindness because you sit here thinking, oh, all we do is just like make music and stuff like that. Then you get introduced to this, and then everybody dissing this person, everybody dissing that person. Then it's just kind of like I want to be cool with everybody, but it feels like everybody is forcing me to pick a side. And even if they're not forcing me to, me with myself and my morals, you feel like, okay, I don't want to sit here and look weird to the next person, you know. So I feel like with you, I realized that even if you're two friends, if friends that you have that are mutual are going back and forth, I notice that you tend to back up a little bit and, you know, keep your not keep your distance, but focus on what you have going on more than the situation at hand. And that leads into what I wanted to ask you. I noticed one thing I admire about you is I feel like you have a healthy balance between work and living your regular life. Like you're one of the people that you don't have to be on Instagram all day to not still be making moves behind the scenes and stuff like that. So how is it maintaining that work-life balance? Like, is it easy for you or does sometimes work get in the way of other things you want to do?
I feel like it's very easy for me because sometimes I get a bit overwhelmed by what I see on the internet. I'm one of those people that are like, okay, if it gets too chaotic, I'm gonna just disappear. And another thing is I feel like I don't need to post 24/7 just so people know that I'm working. Like whatever I got going on, whatever I'm working on, I try to keep it to myself and present it to y'all when I'm ready. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not when keep us posted. I'm not gonna keep y'all posted. If I'm gone, just know that I'm working. Just know that I'm doing something that y'all are gonna love and y'all are
Mm-hmm.
gonna appreciate me for later.
Yeah, so I'm looking at your discography. You know, you have stuff like Backhanded and things like that. But there was one song that I feel like where everybody was kind of taken aback, and it was Shook. So how did Shook come about, and how is it become one of the main anthems in the underground? Like, can you just tell me what that process was like making that song, even collaborating with Zay and Barbie on the remix? Like, how did that situation happen?
So back in 20,
And also, I hated to cut you off. And did you also expect it to, you know, be one of your most notable songs?
all right, so back in 2021, I was going through some beats and I came by this one beat and I forgot who was produced by. I got to go back and look. I think it was produced by I don't want to get it wrong. That don't matter. But I was looking through beats and I came across this beat. I was like, this is interesting. So I was actually typing it in my phone, but it was like, it was the same, but it wasn't the same how it is with this one. So I started typing it. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do it. Like it's too much and I can't come up with nothing. So a month later in the summertime in 2021, I was like, let me go back to this. Because I finally came out with finally came up with something. And this was the exact day that I came back from family and I was on the phone and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have these girls real shook. Like just saying it, like I was like, yo, I'm gonna have the girls real shook. Like, and who uses the word shook? The word shook hasn't been used since 2019, 2018. Like, you know how the white girls be like, oh, I'm shooketh, or I'm shook, like stuff like that. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wait, let me make this into a song. So when I was writing it, I was like, you know what? First thing that came to mind, Briss flooded on a Friday, and it was a Friday. I was like, yeah, we're going somewhere with this.
And I definitely want to commend you for that, because I feel like, number one, with you, I feel like your personality shines throughout your songs. Like, there's never a time where I listen to one of your songs or something like that, and I feel like she sounds uncomfortable and stuff like that, because I feel like you make songs catered to you, your voice, and your sound. But so with Zay and Barbie being on the remix, did you originally want them on the remix? Like, what made them two people come to mind?
So I was actually gonna put Juju Andin and Logical Zay on the remix originally. But then I was looking, I was like, because I already did a song with Juju. So I was like, you know what? I need somebody different. I need somebody that's gonna really eat this up. Not saying Juju wouldn't have ate it up, but I need somebody different. So I was looking and listening to the song while I'm looking. I was like, oh, you know what? Barbie sounds good on this. Let me put Barbie on it. Texted Barbie the same day. She sent me the verse the next day. Didn't even have to wait that long for it. Logical Zay, same thing. I think I sent Barbie at first, then I sent Logical Zay at second. And they both came back powerfully.
And I love that. But you mentioned a name that made my eyebrow raise. So you have mentioned Junior. So let's go back in time. Because, you know, there was a couple of things that, you know, went on between the two of y'all. So I remember that he was going around calling you stuff like baby mama and stuff like that. And, you know, I was added to a couple calls and, you know, things like that. So, like, what can you tell me a little bit about that, and how did that start? Like, were y'all ever anything? Because the people want to know. The people want to know, number one. The people want to know.
So basically, me and Junior, I forgot what year it was, because I know it was in 2022. No, it was. So beginning of 2022, me and Junior started talking a lot. Keep in mind, he's the only one that I'm calling. I'm not calling Ali. I'm not calling Star Mari. I'm not calling that person. Juju was the only one I used to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And out of nowhere, these unexpected feelings started to tinkle. And I was like, what is this? Because I never felt this kind of way about Junior. Like, I always used to see, like, Spencer, and I would ask him, like, don't you still go with Spencer? Like, aren't y'all dating? And he would tell me, no, they broke up. This is when I guess they were on a break or whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I think I might give Juju a chance. And he started showing me signs that he wanted to be with me too. So I was like, you know what? I feel like this gonna go good. So I'll say like a month later, some stuff popped off, and I was like, I'm not gonna go there with
what
you.
popped off?
I just can't. So it was me and Barbie and Raina. I don't think Juju had anything going on with Raina, but keep in mind, I love you, Raina, girl. I don't think Juju had anything going on with Raina, but this is around the time that he linked up with John Sky's Raina, John Sky's best friend, all of them in like this hotel. And Raina and him were booed up in the mirror. They were doing that. And I was like, this is interesting. And me, I'm not saying I'm the jealous type, but if I call you my man, you're my man. Like,
it ain't gonna be none of that. It ain't gonna be none of that.
It won't be none of that. So I'm looking, scrolling, tapping, because keep in mind they posting on Instagram too, stories and the main page. So I'm like, okay, Juju, you got that. You can have her. Do what you do. So then Barbie hit up my phone. No, this was after. I'm scrolling again like a week later, and I see Juju, and I see Barbie. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this can't be. We just got done like a week ago. So I'm scrolling some more. I see Bay. And then I guess it was like a couple of days later, I was like, okay, they're dating. But I don't think they're actually dating. Because you know how people, they be like, oh, hey, babe, like just for fun. I didn't think it was serious. So it was like a couple of days later, they linked up, made a whole song, picture in the mirror, just like Raina. And I'm like,
and that's so crazy. And the reason why I wanted to talk about, because I wanted to talk about this on the show when it comes to dating within the industry and stuff like that. And that actually was a question I want to ask you. So we're gonna get back to that, but I want to make sure that what we're saying does not get deciphered and turned into mess. Let me just say for the record that all of this stuff has already happened. None of this stuff is current. None of this is not tea, by the way. None of this shit is fucking tea, because you bitches be doing too much. But anyways, back to the situation at hand. So when you find out all the stuff, about Raina and stuff like that, was there ever a time where he tried to come back? And has there still been a time where he tried to come back after y'all finished talking?
He tried to come back one time, but I don't think it was like on a serious note. It was like
what did he say?
It was like a flirty type beat. Like it was like, how two people flirt after they've been like a baby mama and a baby daddy. Mm-hmm. The baby girl, but he still be trying to flirt with the baby mama. It was that type of situation.
Oh, trust me, girl. If anybody know, I know, bitch, girl.
Yeah. It was that situation.
Yeah, but we're not gonna give that nigga pun more light. But I want to ask you, do you think that you would date within the industry again? Like, do you think that you would ever date another rapper again? Because I know that everybody don't know me and old boy that had our toxic myth, but at the same time, I don't think that completely turned me away from rappers or dating within the industry. I just feel like I picked the bad apple at the time. So do you feel like you would ever date another rapper or anybody in the industry again?
Yes, I would. But this time they got to be low and mellow. Like they can't be out and about. Like they got to basically be with me 24/7. Like you can't just be over there doing what you got to do. You got to be with me, because one thing about me, I get attached easily. So if I see you out somewhere else by this person and that person, and I hear that you used to mess with so and so and this person, then it's gonna turn me off. So I just want somebody stable to the point where it's like, okay, I know I got you for life. Like I know I got you for a long time, and we're gonna be committed.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. Do you want to play a game?
Yes, let's play a game.
All right, so what's up, everybody? We about to play a game called Pen or Pencil. So everybody knows that on the show, I play a game called Pen or Pencil with different artists. And we basically, get into these girls' pens and we get into these girls' pencils. So number one, I'm going to ask you 5 different artists that, I have picked up and stuff like that. And I want you to tell me whether you think they have a pen or a pencil, and most of all, why. Okay? And if you don't know them, you can say that you don't know them. So it's fine. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first person that I have is Ali.
Pen, most definitely. Ali, he's very hard. His punchlines are always there. Sometimes he makes punchlines and I don't catch it right then and there. But when I listen again, I'm like, oh shit, like you said that. Like, so I'll give Ali a pen because hard.
Yeah. So the next person, Rican the Killer.
Rican the Killer. I love me some Rican. So, and his singing songs, they stick to me the most. So I'm gonna give him a pen only because I love his melodies, his harmonies. I like him.
Okay, so Jayy Bully.
Jayy Bully, my girl, my Florida sister. I'm gonna give Jay a pen. Y'all already know I'm gonna give her a pen.
Yes. Okay, Kiss TJ.
Kiss TJ. I'm gonna be honest with you. I listen to about, because I'm like, how can I put this? I listen to people within my like region, like like people I've talked to, people I've communicated with. But I do be listening around. So TJ, I heard like 3 of his songs, and plus he was on DJ's song with me. So I'll most definitely give him a pen. He's hard. I like his punchlines, his flows. I like his aggression, the way he his cadence on a song, like the way he comes on. I like him. So I'm gonna give you a pen.
So last but least, what about Draco?
Draco. Draco, I like the way I like his voice.
Girl,
His
you
voice on
like his way.
his voice on no, I'm being so for real. His voice, like, it just sticks to me the most. So, but you know, Draco, baby, we had a couple of talks. So I'll say you in between pen and pencil right now because you haven't came out with nothing yet.
I mean, she doesn't need to come out with anything. But you just said that y'all had a couple talks. What were those talks about? What talks happened?
So Draco, I mean, I'd rather bring my problem to him before I bring it here. So whatever me and Draco need to talk about, which will be probably soon because I haven't talked to him in a good minute. Whatever we talk about, I'll let Sean know where we stand because as of right now, I don't. I know we don't have any beef, but I don't know how he feels because every time I turn around, it's like I'm unfollowed on Instagram. Like, why are you unfollowing me? Like, what did I do?
Right. But you know, when you're one of the most followed people within the underground, I mean, I don't see why you would feel any type of way. But hey, that's for another day.
I feel some type of ways because me and Draco had like a connection. Like we would always call each other Sag twins. Anytime we were on a call, it was always good chemistry. I don't have that anymore with him. So it's like, what's now? Like what's new? What now?
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. But I hope you guys do make up and make amends, or whatever the case may be. But let's get into some of these new artists. So are there any new artists that you listen to, or is there not anybody really catching your attention?
Any new artists that I'm listening to?
Do you know a rapper named CJ?
Mm-mm.
You don't. Well, it's crazy because a lot of people have been comparing him to you. And that's crazy.
I haven't been, no, I've never heard of him. Like deep down, like no lie, I haven't heard of him.
So are there any other artists that you're willing to like work with and things like that? Like who are the artists that you're listening to right now? Like if I was to open up Number One's underground library, who are the artists that you're listening to right now?
Ali, starring Mari, Javinci, Big Zay, Kanary Blac.
Gay girl, gay.
Guys, Juju Andon, Slick Kai. Did I already say Logical Zay? Because Logical Zay, I love me some him.
Yeah. Would you date Logical Zay?
Would I date him?
Mm-hmm.
Two bottoms don't make a top. But
who said that he was a bottom?
Logical Zay, the last time I talked to him, he said he was a bottom and only bottoms. Am I wrong?
He a top, girl.
He's a top?
Mm-hmm. Say
Really?
no. Did you know damn well?
I knew you was lying. Like,
girl, you know good well. But no, the reason I asked, because I think you had said on the live one time that girl, if Zay wasn't a bottom bitch, you would have been done snatched that up. But like with the state of underground culture now, when you know how things have changed clearly since we debuted and stuff like now, what do you feel like is in the future for us? Like, do you feel like it's always going to be this constant web of mess and making up and things like that? Or do you feel like we're going to finally see a point where we get back to the music like how it used to be? Because you remember there was a time where you had Nehemiah over here doing this, Supreme doing it, like everybody was doing their whole own thing. So do you feel like there'll ever be a time where we get back to that?
Yes, I actually think there's going to be a time where we all just come together and make good music. And, you know, we also need people that's not in the mess, that's not in the drama to really lead by example and just do them so it can reflect on other people and be like, okay, if he doing what he need to do, I need to do what I need to do. I'm dropping all of this. If your career matters more than arguing with other people, then make your music. Stop worrying about dissing. Stop worrying about this and that. Granted, if somebody play with you, you got to play back. I mean, it's only right, but sometimes you just got to like, well, I wouldn't say it's only right, but sometimes you just got to like settle down. Like, okay, I'm here for a purpose. If this person talk, oh well, brush them off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do.
Period. So you want to play another game?
I do.
All right. So the next game we're gonna play is we're gonna play Smash or Pass Underground Edition. Okay. So you better take this game lightly because after this is coming the hot seat. I'm trying to spare you. I'm trying to spare you, and I'm trying to get you worked up. And
Stop scaring me, Kanary.
but after we play this, we gonna get into the hot seat, okay? And then we gonna wrap everything up. All right. So I'm gonna give you 5 underground artists to smash your pass on. You tell me why, and then you're gonna also give me 5 artists, and I'm gonna give my reasoning into why. Okay? You ready? So the first artist we have is Slick Kai.
Smash.
The next artist that we have is Logical Zay.
Smash.
The next artist that we have is Boy Barbie.
Smash.
What? You would smash Barbie?
I would. Down below.
Gay, girl, gay. Okay.
Barbie, like, I just like the way she said, like, you.
Yeah, she's a baddie. What about Supreme?
Smash. Oh, a big smash. Yes.
Okay, Leslie.
Twitter Supreme.
Huh?
I said, I seen the Twitter Supreme.
Girl, okay. Girl, we all have. The last person, and I feel like you guys would work. Like, I feel like y'all would look cute together. Like, what about Jayy?
Why do you think we would work good together?
Because I just feel like y'all are so cute. Like, I feel like y'all would be cute.
Who gonna be the top and who gonna be the bottom? Because I'm not no
who
her.
gonna be the top and bottom with you and Barbie?
We can bump purses.
And you and Tajay can too.
Tajay's a verse.
Oh, he is? Well, that's your answer. If you're not a verse, then he is.
Period. I would smash Tajay.
Period. So give me 5 of them.
You ready? This might be a little embarrassing, but Juju ending.
Smash.
Supreme.
Pass.
Trill TK.
Everybody knows. Like, that's not gonna sit right with me. Like, I feel like if I'm having sex with somebody, I don't want the whole world to know it. You know. But yeah, that's just my reasoning.
All right, so Trill TK.
A smash. Oof. Girl.
Ali.
Huh?
Ali.
Me not. I'm going to pass, babe. So we're passing that one.
Kanary said, huh?
Girl, because I caught off guard. I was like, girl, what is he talking about? But yeah, who's the last one?
Okay. Who I got in my little bug? Oh, Slick Eye. I don't think I said him yet.
Girl, no.
The only reason why I say smash Slick Eye because I feel like I like his voice. Like, his voice is just real soothing. And he got some pretty eyes. Like, something about them eyes.
Yeah, my bestie is pretty, but it's just, that's all I see. Like, that's just my best. Like, even when I met, like, even when people was coming to me, something like, you don't think Kai fine? You don't think Kai fine? I thought Kai was attractive, but it don't mean, oh my God, I like, because you know me, girl, as soon as I see a rapper girl that I like, girl, I'm one of that quick and fast girl,
Okay.
But no, that's my bestie. But I want to touch on 2 things briefly, and then I'm going to get you inside of the hot seat because I know that you really want to get there. First thing I want to touch on is the verses that you did with Nehemiah. So when the whole when it got, because I remember, I think I called you, if I'm not, or I texted you or something. So how did you feel when you first got the offer, and did you feel like that was a fair fight? And who do you feel like won?
Okay, when you first called me and I got the offer, I was honestly down because during that time period, a lot of people used to say me and Nehemiah had similarities. Sometimes I didn't see them, and sometimes I did. Just like, wait, maybe we, no, we don't. But like, I was kind of shocked, not gonna lie. I was like, dang, he want to do a versus with me and Nehemiah. I think he got the memo that people be like, oh, Nehemiah in #1. So Yeah, and then who do I feel like won? Me,
And I
obviously.
feel like, no, I wanted to ask you because I don't know if people ever told you that you won that. I could a lot of times, but I feel like you won that. But while we're still on Nehemiah, now I know that you guys had a good relate. Besides when everybody else was falling out with her, I never seen a time where you flipped or switched. I still live for Nehemiah. You still was, fuck what are y'all still cool? Like, what's that situation like?
I feel like me on my end, I don't have a problem with Nehemiah at all. But besides everything that was going on, I feel like since everybody else was against her, it was like, oh, I feel like number one is against me. So I got to separate from everybody. So I feel like that's what it was. Like she separated herself from me, but she thought I was on everybody else's side. Meanwhile, I'm not even commenting on the diss tracks. I'm not dissing Nehemiah. I'm not doing none of that. So I feel like it wasn't a mutual thing. Like okay, number one, I don't mean no harm, but I gotta separate myself. She just did it out of the clear blue. So I mean,
Okay, and the last thing I want to ask you before we get to this hot seat, because you already know me, I'm gonna have to add in my 2 cents. So when I asked you to be on Petty Remix, right? Like, was it just like, who is this girl that asking me to be on this song? First of all, let me tell you, that's one of your most iconic verses, by the way. That's that P sneaker bitches. Girl, we still bump that to this day. So when I had presented you with the song, like, was you kind of looking at it like, girl, what the fuck, or like, was you really down to like? I really want to know.
I was actually down to earth because I heard Petty, and I was like, wait, this is like a little anthem. And keep in mind, this is your first hit. So I'm like, this shit bomb. I was like, and it kind of reminded me of Shook, because you know how Shook, it was like a little anthem, went
Mm-hmm.
around. That's kind of like how Petty was. I was like, you know what? Petty is a really good song. And I think we were in a FaceTime group chat. It was me, you, Ali, it was somebody else, and we were listening to it. And you were like, oh y'all, I don't know if I want to release this. And I'm like, Kanary, if you don't release this shit, bitch.
Yeah, it's like, girl, I was so scared. But one of the things I'm a forever, and I think this is why I still like a lot of people that I was talking to back then. I don't really talk to now, but I think the reason why I still support you is because you took a chance on me. And at that time, like a lot of artists didn't want to be, I was new, and I was doing the whole petty thing, the mess and stuff like that. A lot of people didn't want to be attached to my name at that time. It's just like it couldn't be business, then music. But I want to thank you for even hopping on the song, period, and then making it the moment that you made it, you still was promoting it. It didn't feel like, because when I first like came across your page and like your artist, like I see your followers, that was the first thing I seen. I was like, this is not to work with me. Like, girl, by this girl, like this, that, and the third. But you were so humble from the beginning, and I still see that you're still the same number one that you was when I met you. Like you haven't changed or anything like that. So I want to thank you for that. But enough with the sappy stuff. Let's get into this hot seat because you thought I forgot and I didn't. But we're about to play a game called Hot Seat, everybody. So how Hot Seat works is I ask you 5 off the dome questions. Now, I don't really do this a lot, but I'm going to let you ask me 5 questions after me because some, when it comes to the best, you be matching me, especially when we be on the phone. So I want to get into it. So is there anything you have to say to anybody before this Hot Seats begins? Like, is there anything you want to let people know? Because we got to go there.
I want to let y'all know that whatever it is, please don't mark my words, don't note me, don't write it down, don't screen record me and try to cancel me, because it's not that serious. Trust me, I know that.
All right, so let's get into this hot seat. So question number 1, do you think Junior is a hoe?
Do I think Junior is a hoe? Since me and Junior are really close, yeah, I feel like Junior's a hoe. Junior, you're only a hoe because you was homie hopping. Matter of fact, you was sissy hopping, bitch, since you gay and all. You was sissy hopping, and I don't like that. Like, I don't like it. So, yeah, Juju, you're a hoe. You did me.
Who do you think is the better rapper, Rican the Killer or Star and Mark?
Ooh. Lyrically, Starring Mari is a better rapper. Vocally, Rican is better. I feel like they both have something that they both don't have. Like, he got what he don't got. He got what he don't got. So I'm gonna say they're both good in my eyes. I don't think one is better than the other at all.
Do you think, and you can't reuse answers, by the way, because I see you trying to take the safe approach to these answers, ma'am. You're not gonna. The next question is, do you think that high class is better than Made You Famous?
Damn, Kanary, why would you ask me this?
I want to know. Do you think so?
So I can't do what I did to the last question?
No, we're not. No, you're not.
Okay, all right. Sorry, Ali, but I'm gonna have to say high class is better than Made You Famous.
Period. Okay. So if Julian wanted to pull up and get the 90 right now, would you let him?
No, I don't know what you got.
Oh, I said Junior, girl.
Junior? Juju?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what he got. I don't know what you got.
Girl.
Lord knows and who you been linking up with, who you been sucking off, who you been sticking that PP in.
Girl, LOL. So the last question is, if you was to pick 3 people in the underground to have a threesome with, who would be the 3?
Ooh, me, Supreme, and Slick High.
You have to pick a 3rd person.
That was 3 people.
3 people, like 3 people.
Oh, okay.
Girl, not counting yourself, girl.
Supreme, Slick High. Dang, I don't really know. I don't be. Oh, and Logical Jayy.
Period. Yes. Okay, so the tables have turned. So,
I don't really just for you. Wait, no. Yes, I do. I lied. I got.
You don't have to. You don't have to ask 5, but if there's any questions that you want to ask me, you can feel free to ask me now.
I'm going to. So do you feel like whenever Junior started calling me baby mama, right? Did you feel some type of way like this bitch did not just steal my title? Like, did you feel like
First of all, he was calling me baby mama, but I told him if there was to be anybody, and I write him about, I said, if there was to be anybody other than me that you was to talk to, the only person that I would feel no type of way with is number 1. Once again, because I was like, number 1 is nice and she's actually pretty. I was just like, these other bitches, they just not. And I think that's why I never minded getting on the phone with you and having conversations with you and stuff like that. Because no shade, I like you. So then after that, when I seen how stuff ended, I was giving him flat for it because I was just like, how you messed up with number 1? Like, how? Like, girl, it was just kind of like one of those situations. But when he was calling you baby mama, no, I wasn't feeling no type of way. I was just more so feeling some type of way of how he was calling you that, but then adding another type of way. Like, that was my problem that I had. But yeah.
all right, so now that we got that out the way, you and Barbie linked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you and Barbie linked up that one day, right? Or that one weekend, I think it was, and she found some things out, you know the things, I gotta say them. Did you leave because you thought there was going to be some confrontation?
Well, I don't even know how this story got started. First of all, let's be for certain. Me and Barbie was staying at the same hotel when we went down to the beach. My checkout day was Thursday, and her checkout day was Friday. So the Thursday when everything came out and stuff like that, mind you, I already had packed up my stuff and I had went back down by the beach where my dad was at. When she found out, she had called me and she had asked me where I was at. I was just like, I'm at my dad's house was up, and she was telling me like how I found out this, that, and the third. But even when she called me, it wasn't even on no fighting, aggressive type of energy. She was just basically saying like, oh well, girl, I can't mess with you. And it was just some okay, well, bitch, fuck you too then. Like, you know what I'm saying here saying? People have this whole idealization that it was a big catastrophic event that happened at the beach, when no, it did not go down like that. But no, run from confrontation, baby, never. Do you know me? But yeah.
And I like how you worded all of that, because you know some people, they were saying whenever the situation popped off, I was hearing like, oh, Barbie wanted to fight, Barbie wanted to pull up and do. I'm like, okay. Well, girl,
Yeah, but even with Barbie, I feel like if you was to ask Barbie, she'll tell you exactly what happened. Like, even when the situation happened, I don't want to sit here and put Barbie in a negative light or anything type of way, because I feel like at the time being, she did have the right to, be mad. I mean, like, who wouldn't be mad? You know what the case may be, but I feel like that had to come within maturity and growth within myself for me to sit here and come out, especially on my platform, and say something like that. But I feel like the situation is, gone now, it's over now. So I feel like nothing but the truth needs to be coming out about the situation. So yeah. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
What inspired you? Because I always wanted to know, even though you're a good host, Ben told you, I'm pretty sure before you came out with this show, people used to be like, Kanary, you would be a good host. What made you want to do the Kanary Blac show?
What made me want to do the Kanary Blac show? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even know the Kanary Blac show started, if you want to be real. I would always be in FaceTime group calls with, this was around the times where I started getting cool with Jayy and Barbie and all of them. And, like, I would ask them about their careers and stuff like that, because mind you, I wasn't following their career. Like, I'm just not meeting these people and stuff like that. So then it ended up turning into FaceTime calls to me going live and bringing different people up on live and asking them about their gig and what they're getting into, and me doing stuff like that on live. So then people was just like, why don't you just like take it to YouTube and stuff like that? So then after that, I was just like, I don't think people would tune in, and they did. So I feel like that's really how the Kanary Blac show started. I always wanted to do broadcasting, and I always was hosting people's station heads and stuff like that. So I just decided to turn it to visual. And then plus I felt like at the time, the underground didn't have a place where they can go to talk about their upcoming music and talk about stuff they had going on and stuff besides just the mess and things like that. Because a lot of people know me to be messy, but I actually do listen to y'all, and I actually care to see y'all win. So why not have a platform where y'all can come and, get things off your chest and stuff like that. So I feel like that was one of the reasons why I started the show. Yeah.
And I live for the show. Watched half of the episodes already, and I'm ready for the new episodes. When's that coming out, Kanary?
Well, it's so crazy, number one, because their episode is actually first, and it's coming out by the time after this, literally after this, I have to edit it because it's coming out on the 27th. But I have you, we have Benji Badass, we have Armani Rose, we have Taylor, we have Trixie K, we have Logical Zay, we have Slick Kai, we have Javinci, we have so many different people for the end of season 2 that I'm so ready. And I'm so glad that you came by to open up the season, number one. That's so crazy. I didn't even realize that you're opening. But before you leave, can we get into this look? Because this is giving me everything that I need right now. Tell me where you got your outfit from. It's really cute, girl. And don't be ashamed, because girl.
So this outfit, y'all know I'm not gonna gatekeep nothing. This outfit, Ross. It was a different Ross, not in my area. It was like 3 hours away from where I live, and it was like in a big outlet. So they have some cute clothes, and I seen this, and I was like, let me cop. The hair, y'all seen the hair grew.
Is it hard to keep up your hair?
You said what?
Is it hard to keep up your hair? Like, is it hard?
Yes, very hard. Only because you got to moisturize this day, moisturize that day. Make sure you don't use this product, that product, flaking, all of that. Having curly hair is no joke, y'all. It's no joke.
Yeah, but number one, we've reached the end. We've gotten to everything. We've gotten to the album and things like that. First of all, I want to thank you so much for coming to the show. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got you on the show. I hope you had a good time. That was one of the main things that I wanted to share. Is there anything that you would like to say to, what is your fan base called?
I'm still coming up with a second name, only because I feel like number ones is like, it's like a little, I don't know. But I do call my fans the number ones.
So what would you have to say to the number ones or anybody that listens to you? What's upcoming? Like, what's next? You have High Class out. And if, trust me, and I want to let y'all know the promotion for High Class is not over with yet. Y'all will be definitely, this is just the beginning. Oh God, there's so much stuff I forgot. Wait, so you did the video with Javinci. So, it's taking off and stuff like that. Is it doing the numbers and stuff that you hope that it would do? Like,
it's definitely doing the numbers it needs to. I have a screenshot. I'm going to post it today. Probably too late, probably not. But before the 24-hour mark, it did hit 156 views. And currently right now, It's at 300 and I think 30 right now.
That is so good. I'm so proud of you. But number one, I want to thank you so much for coming to the show. You know, you are a icon in your own right. You know, you've been doing all this. It's your time now. High class is out everywhere. Where can people find you?
So y'all can find me on Instagram at the number one. Y'all can find me on TikTok at the number one, Snapchat at the number one, Twitter at the number one _, and on YouTube, number one Jayy. Make sure you put 2 Y's and put an A after number. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so I want to thank all my birdies for coming out once again. Thank you guys for so much for tuning into our first episode back in the studio with number one Jayy. Coming Thursday, we have none other than Benji Badass on the show. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Stay petty, y'all. Bye.